Hey guys, I am coming to you today to talk about the Chris Watts case. The case is already over and Chris will now spend the rest of his life incarcerated. But you know, I've followed this case very closely and I've also watched about every video that any of you guys have made or that has been online, from the hearing to the sentencing and the victim's impact statements, and really anyone and everyone's opinions or theories I've gone over. And mine actually quite differ from what everyone else has been saying, and I just kind of wanted to put it out there and see what you guys' thoughts are. So we know that Shanann got home at 1:48. It's been said that an emotional conversation was had between her and Chris. I don't think that that emotional conversation ever happened, and here's why. When you're pregnant and emotional, her friends had even stated that she hadn't been acting herself, she wasn't eating very much. If you have an emotional conversation about your marriage ending or infidelity, you're not going to have a good night's sleep, okay? You're just not. You're going to be distraught and, you know, easily woken. As a mother, we wake up very easily anyway, so she was very comfortable in her sleep. It was also stated that Shanann had done some online shopping at a little after 2. So I think one of two things. I think either one, Chris pretended to be asleep and just patiently waited for her to be asleep, and when he knew she was asleep, then he had strangled her. See, she didn't have defense wounds on her, so she had to have been in a pretty deep sleep. You know, someone comes in and grabs you, unless you're in a real deep sleep, you're gonna, you know, try and fight someone off to some capacity. And so there's that. Or I think that she came in and I think they had a conversation, but I think it was like back in the day, you know how she said that he sat there and rubbed her when she didn't feel good? I think he did that. I think he manipulated her and told her exactly what she wanted to hear, rubbed her back, told her he wanted to save the marriage, that their family was so important, that he was excited to have a son, fed her full of all this bullshit so that she felt at ease when she rests and laid her head down to bed. Okay, so there's that portion. The next portion is that a lot of you think that the children had already been taken from this earth before Shanann got home. Or that one of the kids had come out to the car. Well, that night, Bella had already woke up a few times asking when her mother was going to be home. So what I think happened is I think that Chris brought Shanann's body downstairs. I think that may have woke Bella up, or the garage door. And so she woke up and she had her blankie and she thought she was gonna go crawl into bed with her mommy, and she goes in there and mommy's not there. So what is a little girl gonna do? She's gonna go find her daddy and see if mommy's home yet. So she goes out to the garage, she sees daddy out there, she runs up to daddy, daddy picks her up, she says, "Where's mommy?" Mommy's in the car, or the truck. She wants to see mommy, he tells her mommy's sleeping. So his mistake, he puts her in the car, or the truck, pardon me, and she's old enough to realize that mommy's not sleeping. Well, he had stated that the girls were blue, so I'm assuming to some capacity Shanann was probably blue. So Bella sees this. Oh, what's a little girl gonna do? She's gonna start screaming, right? Well, he's not trying to bring attention to himself. So what does someone do when they hear their child screaming? They cover their mouth, okay? Well, that would explain why she had the defense wounds on her gums, because he had covered her mouth, try and get her from screaming, as well as why she had bit her tongue. I think that in the heat of that moment, he probably plugged her nose and covered her mouth to try and get her to stop screaming, and in turn, she had passed away. Now, whether or not he had intended to go back up and take each one of their lives, But if you notice in any interviews or even in court, when Bella's name gets brought up, it gets real personal for him. He gets real uncomfortable and real emotional as a psychopath can get, but you could tell that that bothered him. And so it seems like that was a different scenario than the other two, Shanann and Cece's passing. So then I think that, you know, he's sitting there thinking, Shanann's gone, Bella's gone, he knows he's gonna be in deep shit. He couldn't explain that to his new love or whoever, why he has one child left and, you know, everyone else has passed away. So he went upstairs and did the same thing, covered her nose and mouth, and she passed away. And again, same as Shanann, there wasn't any defense wounds, so she must have been just in a deep sleep and just in dreamland of a just 3-year-old. And you know, it's such a tragedy. I mean, I just can't even fathom. There's just so many other ways that he could have handled that situation, and not only did he take 4 lives that day, but he took his own, you know, and he changed a lot of lives too, you know, and affected so many people, a nation, really. I've had so many conversations about this case with so many people, and it's just, how do you really know someone, you know? It's like, God, it's a real scary thing. But anyhow, please let me know what your thoughts are. This is my first video, and kind of just roughing it. Just came from the beach. I'm in Maui, and yeah, I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on my theory. Take care.